So the company Oribox sent me a couple of their favorite and best cell phone cases. And I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max and I'm excited to try these out. So they did send me 3 different ones for me to review for you. And I'm gonna go over each one, some of its benefits, and let you know what I think about them. So first off the bat, I do love their packaging. They say that it's eco-friendly and made out of non-toxic biodegradable materials, which I appreciate. And we're gonna open up this one. So this is the iPhone 14 Pro Max case, and this is what it looks like. So it is pretty bendable and pretty flexible. It does have a gradient here, so it's not gonna slip and slide. It kind of has an abrasive surface, but not going to hurt your phone, but that's just gonna keep it from slipping and sliding around. It is a crystal clear, and it does have a little sheen to it. It has the cutout here, and it also has all of your buttons and the cutout on the bottom. So let's go ahead and grab an iPhone 14 and stick it in the case like this. All right, so that went on there really well. It does have these bumpers on the edges here, so that's going to help absorb some of the shock if you do happen to drop it. I also love that you can see the Apple logo, so that just kind of adds a touch of elegance or classiness to the Apple brand. So the speaker holes are on the bottom here, and they have the charging port cut out for you. It even has a couple holes here. If you want to put some kind of a tether on it for your phone or for your wrist, you can feed it through there before you install your phone case. The phone case just comes with a phone case, so there's not going to be any extras. There's no screen protectors and there's no cleaning kits. It's only the phone case. It does have the buttons, and the buttons are pretty squishy and responsive, so they work as normal. They're not hard and they're not tough to press. My favorite part about this one is the edges, because whenever you drop a phone on the edge, that's usually when it breaks. So there's this beautiful one. So this is the same basic principle, just a different style. So this one seems like it's gonna provide some extra protection because it does have this whole thing all around the end here. So that is going to provide more protection than the other one. So this one's just your basic clear cell phone case, and this one's a little bit heavy duty. So it does have a lot more padding and a lot more shock absorbing. So if you are in the construction business or you're gonna be at high places or drop your phone a lot, this one might be an option for you. It is not as flexible or bendable as the other one. It does have all your buttons where they should be and your cutout for your camera. So I'm just gonna take it off of this one. So this first one popped off really easy because you can see it's a little flimsier and a little bit bendier. So then we have our heavy duty one that I'm going to install. So this one's gonna be a little bit harder to click into place. So this one's a lot more difficult to get in and out, but it's gonna click in and it's going to protect it. So it does have this thick outer cover on the border here, but if you look at the bottom, everything matches up. So you have your speakers, and this one even has a little port that is going to protect your charging hole. And so if you want to charge it, you're gonna have to flip this up to access your charging port. So that's gonna protect your phone from water and dust and debris getting in. So again, this one here is a lot heavier duty. All the phone buttons do line up and they are easy to push. There is another little portal here that is going to access your volume button, so that opens and closes as well. But all of your buttons are going to be really easy to push in, just like normal. It just has that extra casing around it. But I still love that it has that elegance of the Apple, because you can see the Apple through here. And if you paid extra money or selected one of those colored phones, like I have the purple one or the black one, you can see the color tint through here. So it's not gonna be blocking that. It's gonna show off that Apple symbol that is so beautiful. So there's this one, the high class. So there's this one, the heavy duty version. And then last we have the matte finish. So this is a matte finish, and it is not gonna be shiny and it's not gonna reflect the light. And it kind of has an opaqueness to it, a little bit of transparency, but you're still going to be able to see that Apple logo. It does have the cutout again for your camera, and all of your buttons and all of your ports are gonna line up as well. This one does not have any covers that go over the ports, but it does have the buttons, and it has that shock absorber on the sides here. So again, if you see this matte one versus this first one that we went over, one is matte, one is completely clear, but this one's a little harder. It still has some bend and give, but the first one we went over is a lot more flimsy and bendable. This one too has the matte on the inside, but it doesn't have any kind of anti-slip or anti-scratch. It just has that same matte color. So let's install this one next. So this heavy duty one is going to be a little bit more complicated to get off, but I think it's going to provide a lot more protection than the other ones. It does have that thick border on it, but let's see if we can get it off. So you can separate, if you wanted to, the two cases. So you do have just the plastic one with some little grippers on the inside, and this is completely just the shell. So it's going to be a plastic pliable shell, but on your phone it still has a plastic one, so this is going to be the harder plastic. So I think with those two combined, it's actually going to protect your cell phone a little bit better than your traditional only plastic or only absorbing shock rubber. So to get this one on and off, it does open kind of like a case, and it has all these little pieces on it that are going to click closed, so you can actually separate it into multiple pieces as well. So that way it's going to be a lot easier to put on. So instead of trying to push it on like I did, just put it on in multiple pieces. So you have your first piece that is going to go on right here, and then you have your top border piece, and then you have your plastic protector. Last but not least, we have our matte case. So this is matte, but it's also transparent, which I like. So you're still going to be able to see that Apple label if you can see there. This one pops on and off really easy. So if you're looking for a phone case that you often take on and off for certain things, this one here comes off really quick. Not compared to the other one that we just did, because that one takes a little bit more effort. But it fits perfectly just like the other ones. It still provides that beautiful matte finish here that is going to be really easy to clean, but it also has that transparency. You see all the buttons line up as well, and it has a little hole for your volume. And on the side, it has a little button. There's a couple holes on the back if you wanted to put some kind of a tether. And it has little holes here for your speaker as well as your Type-C port. So everything's cut out to precision, fits fine, and all the buttons work fantastic. So whether you're looking for a basic cell phone case that's easy to take on and off, but still provides some protection, this is a great one. But if you're looking for something that's going to provide a little bit more protection and have that sleek matte look, this one's a great one as well. And if you have a heavy duty job and you need something that's going to be really heavy duty and have some extra protection for you, this one is great as well. So Orbox makes 3 different phone cases that are very similar, but they all do very different tasks. All of them are really nice. They're all cut out really precisely, and all the buttons work fantastically. They're easy to push in, and they are great cell phone cases that are really versatile. I love my cell phone cases, and so will you.